I got kind of a shorter video for you here. These are also TwoSuns. Obviously they've done some things other than just knives. I don't have any of their fidget spinners. I kind of started getting into these guys long after they've been made and the fad's gone. So unless I could find somebody who would want to trade me something that I would be willing to trade with or let me buy them off them, I'm probably not going to get them. But these are flashlights. Or torches, if you're, anywhere besides America, as, we call them that. It's kind of interesting, because the word torch, at least for us, is the wood sticks with the oil-soaked rags on them that you use in, like, catacombs and whatnot. And I don't know exactly what those are called in the rest of the world, because I thought they were just torches. Maybe they're wood torches or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting way off track. These are some flashlights here. And they are mostly in titanium, with the exception of this guy here, which I'm going to talk about first. And this one has both copper for the top cap and the end cap here. So how about if we go ahead and do that first? Let's see, we got in the bottom. You can see I probably have just a little bit of a patina going on here. But yeah, this is a TwoSun design. There we go, NightMorning. So he designed this one in particular. We can take a look down in the middle there. What is nice about these guys is all of their models so far are using Cree LEDs. What's good about that is, it's a name brand. Heck, and they're even here from the States. North Carolina, I believe, something like that. But yeah, this one is using a, an XML2 T6 or whatever. Basically what that ends up meaning is that this is a 350 lumen LED light. And you can activate it from the bottom there. And then you can turn it off, turn it back on for kind of a low mode, turn it off, and then we got party mode. All right. This guy is pretty substantial in the weight department because of, the fact that it's copper and whatnot. And also has to house a battery. That battery is an 18650, which you should know because it makes the jobs much easier for these guys. Does not come with a battery, so you're going to need 18650s if you want to use this one. But this is not a Featherlight model. We got 2.75 ounces? Oh, that's... did not sound right to me. Okay, 9.75 ounces. Or 277 grams. So, yeah. Quite a bit going on there. Now, these guys are... all of these are water... I'd say water resistant. They're not waterproof. But they do have O-rings to keep everything nice and dry on the inside here. So, I can go ahead and open this up. We got the end cap here with the O-ring. This houses all the electronics in there, and I do believe it's kind of press fit, so it's not, super crazy disassemblable down to the component level, but very nice and secure and nicely made. Here's the 18650 that I ended up going with. It's from Epic. It's a 3500 milliamp hour battery, and I liked it because, for one, it does have safety, actually built into the battery, which some don't, which is, just kind of nice in general. And the fact that outside of this flashlight, I can recharge these batteries from micro USB. So there you go. Then, the front cap also comes off. And there we go, right underneath there. That's where the micro USB is hidden for doing all your charging tasks. You have a itty bitty tiny little LED there that will glow red when it's charging and green when it's done charging. So, it's got all that sort of stuff. And this is basically the contact patch. It's basically a pass-through from, the inside there. You can see the coil spring and whatnot. Not a whole lot going on there, but, And then, yep, we got the front side here. This one's all super sealed up, so you can't really get too much further in there without, you know, doing some crazy unpress fitting some of this stuff. But yeah, it does a darn good job of lighting up a room, especially where you are actually looking at it. You know, actually just trying to look in a certain portion of the room, not, you know, just flip a light switch and, you know, it's crazy on. These aren't like, you know, the super, super bright tactical flashlights or anything like that. But, yeah. This is basically positive facing towards the LED. In case anybody actually wants that information. And, yeah, this one was made before they kind of decided to do more of them. So this one has a normal TS model. This is what, the TS 254? 258, sorry, yeah. TS 258-LED. That was kind of neat. Yeah. Very, very substantial when they are put together. Like, you could probably use this as a bludgeoning tool, like, you know, your Surefires or anything like that with the D batteries in there. Alright, the next one up here is, yeah, this is the TS LED 02, because they decided they were going to make some more, so they made their own kind of thing. This is a Rihe design, and yeah, it does kind of look like that because they have different, you know, milling. A lot of Rihe designs, to me, look like, you know, just kind of futuristic sort of things. A lot of milling for aesthetic reasons, not necessarily for, you know, practical purpose. But yeah, it uses the same LED there. So we got the same 350 lumen output. This one's a bit taller, as you can see here. This one, also, depending on the angle you look at it, might also look like something your wife might keep by the bedside table. So, yeah, there's certainly that. I mean, obviously, it's got a little bit more knurling that might make it uncomfortable for somebody trying to use it for reasons other than lighting. But, you know, that's what comes to my mind, at least. But, yeah, yet again, we got the O-rings. We can pull off the back end here. And, yeah, a lot of that's still press fit down on the bottom there with the whole button and everything like that. And here's the battery. I got 4 of these essentially because they were kind of on sale from the place that I ended up purchasing them from. But this one also has several parts. So this one with a whole bunch of the knurling is there, and it's just basically a tube. And then we got this one, which is going to harbor your USB charging via micro USB, as well as kind of the battery pass-through. And then, yeah, the other side here, yep, there's just more pass-through. So, yeah, they're pretty darn segmented and, you know, like I say, water-resistant. I wouldn't dunk this in a lake. But, you know, as far as everyday use, it'll certainly keep up to the task. These guys both have the same driver chip in there, so they have the same functionality of 350 lumens, I think 150 lumens, and then party mode. You know, obviously it's supposed to be an emergency mode, but, you know, I don't necessarily know if anybody would particularly care when they see something like that going on. Alright, so the next one we got up here is this itty bitty little guy. And this one is not rechargeable. It is still using a Cree LED, but obviously it's not the T6 model, or the L2 T6 models here. So it's a little bit different. These are 150 lumens, which you know, you can certainly see the difference. They're a little bit less bright, much more you know, convenient for doing something kind of right in front of you. That's also apparent from the nice steel clip that you got going on here that's kind of surrounded. You can take it off if you want, but, you know, obviously not necessary. So yeah, as I said, these things aren't rechargeable. These ones use AAA. Yep, Amazon Basics, because I'm a basic bitch. Mostly because they accidentally screwed up in listing some of these at some point, so I got a couple of packs of 6 for like $1 a piece. So I was happy enough to pick those up. So yeah, we got the simple guy here. It's got some knurling on it. Reminds me a lot of jigged bone kind of thing. You know, probably more or less synthetic rather than kind of the random pattern that an actual one would do. But offers a lot of grip to it, so that's nice. But yeah, this is just a standard tube through and through. We got, yep, there's the end piece. It's press fit in there with plastic rather than copper like the other ones are, but that's perfectly fine. We got that little button on top. This is a Rihe design as well. And yeah, this is super nice. I've used this a couple of times in some videos because it's super compact and can get me some nice views kind of right exactly where I need them when I'm doing some knife videos, if I'm trying to take a look on the inside of something that I can't disassemble. Yeah, these guys are a little bit different in that the positive end is... No, I think I was wrong on that, so never mind. And then we have this one, which is pretty darn new. It looks familiar, doesn't it? It's yeah, it's just an elongated version of the other one. Now this one, as you might assume, is called the TS-LED 03, but you'd be wrong because it's the TS-LED 06. That makes me think maybe they have some more of them coming along, or they decided that, you know, because this one was twice as large, that they would kind of change the name up on it or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, uses the same LED, the same lumen put out of 150 with the shorter and the party mode. But this one will last quite a bit longer. For the fact that, yeah, it takes 2 AAAs. And then you get this guy right here that completely comes off. And yeah, just standard tube. What is kind of nice about this is if you do want to anodize these parts, the only thing, or on either of these, the only thing you'd really need to remove is the O-ring before you know, do your whole cleaning and preparing and then anodize sort of thing. So you could have this in, you know, gold or green or purple or blue. Or... So, yeah, it's kind of nice that you can do a whole bunch of that. Both of these, the end cap, you actually do see some exposed electronics. Looks like mostly some resistors, and looks like there's probably a choke or something like that going on there. But yeah, we got the center post there. But they're all super nice and secure in there, as long as you actually get the thread right. So, so yeah, these things were pretty interesting. I ended up really enjoying when I got the first one. I did certainly get them out of order, whereas you know, I got the large Rihe one first, and then yeah, then I got the little tiny guy here. I'd been trying to get this one for a while, and then finally did for a decent price, so I got that. And then this guy is pretty new, so I picked him up. So yeah, they're very, very high quality. Let's see if I can't get the weights on some of these other guys here. I'll start with the big old Rihe. Stop rolling. Okay. Yeah, so this is even more. This is 8.56 or so ounces, or 243 grams, we'll say. Probably also, you know what? I got some Calipalulus. I'll use that. Yeah, just under 5 or 6 inches for that one. This one's a little shorter. So just under 5.5. And then, yeah, these guys are around 3.1, 3.1.5. And, yeah, this one's a little longer, too, as well. 4.86 inches. So, there you go with that. Let's see, since I was actually in the middle of doing some little measurements, the itty-bitty little guy is, looks like 1.79 ounces. Or, you know, around 51 grams. And, yeah, this guy will be 2.82 ounces, or 80 grams. So, yeah, they're not exactly the featherlight things of the industry, but I mean, especially these aren't. But I mean, almost any of the flashlights that actually take 18650s have a lot of extra weight because 18650s are big, and they can also put out quite a bit of power. Obviously, these are made for a lot more working scenarios rather than tactical, but because of that, you get quite a few hours out of these, whereas a lot of those tactical flashlights, it's neat to see 1800 lumens, but if it can only sustain that for 12 to 15 minutes, then it's not something super convenient to carry on you all the time. But yeah, that and these things, like I said, are absolutely bulletproof. Super cool. I do hope that they kind of continue on with some of these things. Maybe get somebody else to design some of them besides Rihe, who's done 3 of them. This one's pretty neat from NightMorning. Might be interested to see a couple more maybe from him, maybe one from Wong or something like that. I don't know. I suppose we'll see. But yeah, that's basically all I really had to say with these guys. Just kind of another fascination that I had when they released, or they started releasing them, beginning of last year or something like that. And yeah, they're super useful for, doing a lot of, standard tasks around the house. Because, yeah, I have some Surefire and Magnum flashlights and whatnot, just kind of, in junk drawers throughout the house or whatever. But, most of them are using like C or D batteries, and they're almost never useful for me, whereas these are in a little bit more easy form factor to do. And especially with these guys with the 350 lumens, really makes it comfortable if I'm doing something like working on my computer under my desk, rather than pulling it out and setting it on top of a table and using this light right here on it. So yeah, nice and fun. Like I did say, these two do not come with an 18650 battery, because shipping lithium batteries requires extra regulations and whatnot, and can get definitely more expensive if you do that internationally, so they just don't. But they do come in a nice box that folds open with a magnetic close, comes with a little tiny USB cable for charging them. I do set them aside, as I do with a lot of electronics sort of things that come with a USB charging cable, because they don't have data pins in them. They're designed just to carry the power back and forth, and that's great until you grab one out of, any of your shelves and go, ooh, all right, let's use this, and you plug it into your computer to try to, get something off it or use it as a controller or something like that, and nothing happens. Always really frustrating, and I have plenty of USB cables, so I just set them aside somewhere else and just kind of use my own. But still, nice gesture for them to at least put that in there. But yeah, as the last thing, yeah, I guess it kind of comes up on camera, but it's a little bit more apparent in the actual real world here. Is yeah, the copper will patina on you, as basically all of it on the top, except for the little tiny ring there in the center, is much darker. And that's because that's the area that my thumb doesn't mushroom onto when I'm, using that light to turn something on. So yeah, if you do like a patina, this is probably the way to go. If you really don't necessarily care, then that's all right. If patinas do kind of bother you, this probably isn't the one for you, and you might want to go for this guy. It's a little bit longer, but and just maybe a little bit heavier, but certainly still very comfortable and usable. All right. Yeah, one last thing in general. This doesn't have to do with the flashlights, just more or less people having a large fascination with copper and bronze and brass. That's the word I was looking for brass. They've been kind of a little bit more and more popular with EDC crowds, especially recently. And a lot of people will talk about the patinas on things and whatnot. I'm not generally a huge fan of it in general because, I mean, for one, they do patina. So they're not going to actually look like that nice shiny kind of thing that you'll get right out of the box. And a lot of people will try to, if they want to keep them, from doing some patinas or whatnot, they will actually clean them up with some Scotch-Brite or steel wool or something like that. And that does help for about 48 hours before it just tarnishes dark, like all over again. And that's just something that you will end up dealing with a lot. This happens a little bit more on brass than it does copper. But I've certainly experienced that where there is actually a treatment that they go through to kind of help them do more of a patina rather than just straight tarnishing. But by the time you actually try to polish any of that stuff off, then yeah, you're just fighting a beast for the rest of your days. I've certainly done that with a Zippo lighter for many, many years and regret it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you do like copper to look all nice and shiny, you're probably going to keep that a continual part of your, everyday kind of ritual of getting home and dealing with that if you actually want to keep that up. But all right, yeah, that's just kind of an aside. This video went on a lot longer than it really should have for a couple of flashlights. But yeah, flashlight's good, decently cheap, using American LEDs, nice and reliable, water resistant. Fantastic. If you can find them for a good price, I would suggest picking one of them up because they're super neat. So, alrighty. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. And maybe like or subscribe.